I'm Kieran,
And I'm Brooke.
and this is Long Lost San Francisco.
Originally a roller skating rink in the 20s and 30s called Dreamland, the Winterland Arena was turned into an ice rink in the 1940s. For 25 years, Shipstead and Johnson's skating show, the Ice Follies, performed there annually. However, Winterland is better known for its performances later on in the 1960s. Its new owner, Bill Graham, renovated it to exclusively be a music venue. Notable Winterland performances included Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, David Bowie, and Jimi Hendrix. Numerous live albums and films were also recorded there. Additionally, the Grateful Dead were frequent performers and played at the Winterland's final show in December of 1978. In the early 80s, Winterland was demolished and replaced by apartments. From the early 1930s as a skating rink to its final years as a music venue that hosted legendary performances, there is no doubt that Winterland had a rich history. However, this history will no longer live on.
The International Hotel was the cornerstone of 1970s Manila town, providing housing for low-income workers and becoming a tight-knit community of mostly Filipino people. San Francisco's urban renewal movement targeted Manila town as one of many sectors to be redeveloped. Areas with large immigrant populations like Manila town were considered dirty and unclean. Eventually, the city's urban renewal program reduced the culturally flourishing Manila town to a single block. When the I-Hotel was targeted for demolition, the residents of the International Hotel and Manila town as a whole resisted, sparking an activist movement that resisted the evictions for years. They also organized protests outside of the hotel, but could not stop a group of riot police from forcefully evicting the elderly tenants from the hotel. They also used violence on the crowd and damaged the hotel. Not only did this violence displace many tenants, but it also fractured the tight Filipino-American community fostered by the International Hotel. I-Hotel resident Jeanette Gandionco-Lazam said that, quote, "Many of the tenants, myself included, we began to go our separate ways. And so that community that we once had totally disintegrated." However, end quote. However, the activist movement that had started with the I-Hotel persisted even after the hotel was demolished in the late 1970s. The Manila Town Heritage Foundation was formed in the 1990s, and the International Hotel was rebuilt, opening in 2005, almost 30 years after its initial demolition, to commemorate its storied history.
There was also the Angel Island Immigration Center. Only a ferry ride away from mainland San Francisco, Angel Island was home to a major immigration station between 1910 and 1940. Many immigrants searching for financial or educational opportunities in America passed through Angel Island, taking jobs in the low-wage labor industry. When entering the U.S., migrants would be routed to Angel Island to be processed. Since many records were destroyed in the 1906 earthquake and fire, there was no way of knowing who could legitimately enter the States. Chinese migrants were able to bypass Chinese Exclusion Act restrictions by falsely claiming they had family members in the U.S. in a phenomenon called paper sons. Furthermore, Chinese immigrants had the harshest living conditions at Angel Island compared to migrants from other countries, with many comparing their experiences to prison. The station closed in 1910 after a fire destroyed the administration building and was restored for tourist purposes. Now the injustices faced by Chinese migrants can be seen at the restored building, where poetry carved into the walls describes their experiences.
The Lotus blue butterfly, native to a range of land between Mendocino and Sonoma counties, was first seen in 1879 and last recorded in 1983. Contrary to its name, the lotus blue had a purple color with shades of deep purple and lavender throughout. That's pretty crazy. When previously spotted, it was seen in wet meadows or bogs, with a recorded flight period of mid-April to June. It's listed as federally endangered by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service today. However, since this species has not been seen since the early 80s, it is widely considered to be extinct. Centers of arts and culture, from nightclubs to theaters to concert halls, were destroyed for the sake of new housing. Historic venues were destroyed rather than revitalized, and the rich history of those venues were lost. Immigrants who found their ways to the United States through Angel Island faced challenges both entering and living in the city, from being detained in prison-like conditions to being targeted for redevelopment programs that destroyed the communities that they had worked so hard to build.
However, the community of immigrants helped to establish the city's vibrant culture. That culture, a product of diverse population, has started to rebound. In recent decades, preservation and restoration movements have taken center stage in San Francisco. We can hope that in the future these historical sites will be restored and the city culture will flourish as it did before.
This is Long Lost San Francisco.
Stay lit!